Hey everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome to my shop. Well, it is springtime here in the Pacific Northwest. Everything outside has greened up. The days are getting a little bit longer. Got some fruit on my trees, not ready to eat yet. It's warmer, and it is motorcycle season. This is my 2018 Suzuki V-Strom DL650. I purchased this thing 2.5 years ago. I bought it during the winter. I've kind of had a habit of finding good deals on motorcycles during the winter, fixing them, and then reselling them during the summer. So I purchased this intending to flip it. It'd been laid over pretty hard on the right side. The tank was smashed in, exhaust was smashed. It was missing the passenger foot peg bracket. Lots of things on this side of the bike were damaged. I replaced all that stuff. I actually managed to repair the tank. I pressurized it and managed to heat it up and get the dent pulled out, repainted the whole thing. You can't even tell now. And I've taken it on a few trips. I ended up liking the bike so much that I did not flip it. I didn't sell it. In fact, when I moved, I pared down my motorcycle collection. I sold a Monster 696, my Ducati Diavel, and my DRZ 400, and this was the only motorcycle that I kept. Now, as you might be able to tell by the layer of dust, I have not ridden this thing in probably 3 or 4 months, at least. It's just been sitting here. So, we're gonna address that tonight. I do have a trip coming up here in just a few weeks, and it's going to be 14 days. It's going to be by far the longest motorcycle trip that I've ever taken, about 2,500 miles, and there's going to probably be a couple of hotels involved, but the bulk of the time I'm going to be camping off of this bike. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to pull this thing out, clean it up, go through it, do an oil change. I bought a new skid plate for it. I've got a leaky right front fork seal, so we're going to use a seal saver, see if we can fix that. And I'm going to install some heated hand grips on there, and then we're going to put all my luggage on here. I have a Giant Loop Great Basin bag. I just bought this Rig Gear tank bag that I already put on here. I got a couple of cheap Amazon Chinese bags that I'm going to put on it as well. And we're just going to get it prepped for the camping trip. So let's pull this thing out and get it all cleaned up and get to work. Well, let's get started with this fork oil seal first. It's not leaking much, but there's a little bit of an oily residue here, and it's kind of oily on this fender right here. And we're going to pop this dust seal off. There's actually 2 seals here. This is kind of a wiper dust seal thing, and then the actual seal sits down here. And we're going to clean it out with our seal mate. I think I called it a seal saver earlier, but I've actually used this before. I've had this for a long time, and seems to work pretty good. Basically, you just slide this down in there and then rotate it around the fork, and this little hook tends to dislodge any dirt that's in there that's allowing the fork oil to leak past the seal. This little hook on this thing basically just slips down in between the seal and the fork shaft there, and it dislodges any dirt that's caught in the seal lips. We'll work it around here a couple times. Yeah, I got a bunch of gritty sand. Go the other way once. Yeah, more gritty sand. I think that's what's causing it. Yeah, that second time around is perfectly clean. All right, easy enough. That was a quick and easy one. Glad to knock that one out. I did rebuild the forks on my son's V-Strom here just a few weeks ago. Definitely can do that on this one, but I don't really think it was necessary. It was just like a slight residue of oil up here on the forks, so I don't think that we're gonna have an ongoing problem with that. We got our grit out of there, should be good to go. Let's move on to the next thing. Next up, we're going to remove my homemade skid plate that I built here a few years ago. This thing's definitely been abused. You can see some huge gouges here in the side. Actually dropped it really hard on a rock on the bottom on my last trip. I had a small wheelie going on, and when I dropped the front end down, it just banged really hard on a rock. And it's not quite touching the exhaust, but super close. I actually bought a T-Rex skid plate, and I'm not sure if it's gonna fit with my Delkovich exhaust. We're gonna see. So we're gonna remove this homemade skid plate, do an oil change, see if we can get the T-Rex plate fitted. This is tight. Too tight. No. Rats. Shoot. Okay, now we've got a new challenge on our hands here. Smokes. That's a bit ridiculous. The magnetic tip on this thing looks nice and clean. Figured it would, these things run forever. Coolant reservoir looks good. Got a sight window here for my rear brake fluid. That looks good. It's in between the high and low marks. Front brake is, the sight glass is full, but I think we're okay there. Did want to take a look and verify that my registration and insurance were current, and I wanted to go through the toolkit and see what was there. I added these master links and a valve core tool when I got the bike, but I'm just going to see what kind of tools are in here. All the basic stuff a guy would need. Well, it's a good thing I checked. I've got everything I need, like basic wrenches and stuff. I think this must fit the spark plugs here, but what I don't have is a tool for removing the front axle. I think that's what this is supposed to be, but this is too big to fit in there. I do have a 12mm Allen wrench here, which fits in there fine, but this does not. It's too big. It's like it's a 14 or something. So I don't have the ability to pull my front axle right now. Probably throw this in my toolkit for now, but I'll order one that is maybe more compact and lightweight than this. It's a good thing I checked. Well, after much deliberation, I have decided to put my old skid plate back on. The issue is this crossover pipe right here, which actually used to come down and go underneath here, which I really didn't like. I modified this, again, previous video. Unfortunately, this bolt hole in the new skid plate is designed to go to that bolt, and that means that this part of the skid plate right here interferes with this crossover pipe. I don't feel like I have time to modify the crossover pipe or modify the skid plate or in some way make this work. So I'm just going to put my old skid plate back on. It's been functioning just fine for me. Is what it is. I'll either put this one up for sale or modify it when I get back from my trip. All right, up next are these Koso Apollo heated grips. I chose these because number one, they were the right size. Number two, I really like the integrated controller, so I'm not mounting some separate button on my bike. Basically what we have to do is get the old grips off, which are a bit of a pain, and then slide these on, which are also a bit of a pain, and then run our wiring harness back to our battery. Actually changed this thing out in between rides last year. It's definitely got some dirt on it. I don't think that that's going to be twisted at all. All right, it is the following day. I did not set up the camera for the reinstallation of everything because I had a friend stop by. Didn't seem prudent to have the camera set up while he and I caught up and talked about things and whatnot. So installation is essentially the reverse of removal. I did wire the heated hand grips directly up to the battery. This is how they're designed. It does have its own fuse, so this circuit is protected. And this anti-gravity lithium battery that I'm running does have 2 sets of battery terminals, so it's a handy place to hook it up anyway. I ran it alongside the frame rail with another bundle of wires that was already there, up in front of the triple clamp right there. Did a nice clean installation with a bunch of zip ties to provide some slack for the handlebars turning and to make sure that the wiring harness wouldn't chafe on anything. And with that, you can see the different power levels that are available. It does take around 5 minutes before the grips come up to full temperature, but they definitely get nice and hot on this red setting. I am looking forward to that on the cold mornings that I expect on this trip. I have pulled down the bulk of my lightweight camping gear out of my storage area and laid it all out on the floor here. I'm going to sort through it and put things in a bag to put back up on the shelf that I don't want to take, and run that against a checklist that I created several years ago for motorcycle camping. So what am I taking with me? Well, right here I have my Giant Loop Great Basin saddlebag. This company is based out of Bend, Oregon. I drove there to their shop to buy this here a while ago. They gave me an in-person discount when I was there. I do like this bag. I've used it on a couple of trips before. Works pretty well for me. It's rackless and it fits nicely on the V-Strom, and basically just all straps down to existing points on the V-Strom. So that's where the bulk of my gear is going to go. I've got my jet boil right there. That's going to be making hot coffee in the morning and heating up hot water for my instant meals. I'm going to be taking this air duster right here. I've showed you guys this in other videos. This thing is excellent to have on a camping trip because it's super compact, recharges via USB, and it is a really nice way to blow dust and dirt out of everything, out of my camping gear, off the bike, even off myself. I'm going to be taking 2 water bladders, these 2 water bladders right here, plus the hydration pack in the back of my Climb backpack, which I don't have out here. I haven't put together the rest of my meal kit yet, but it's just going to basically be a bunch of Cliff Bars, Mountain House meals, and some protein shakes, and then I'll buy whatever else I need on the road. This stuff right here I'm not going to be using. It's a collection of dry bags, motorcycle cover, and some Kriega saddlebags that I'm not going to be using. Got some instant coffee right there that I'll be bringing. These 2 things right here, this is my tent setup. This is a Nemo tent. The tent's actually in this dry bag right here, and the poles are here. Poles and stakes are here. This right here, nifty little device. It's a Flextail air mattress inflator, rechargeable via USB. It's really compact, and it inflates my air mattress in just 20 seconds or so. And it'll inflate and deflate the air mattress several times before needing a recharge, but I'll be recharging it every day anyway. This right here is a compact camping chair. That right there is my sleeping pad. Now it might look big, but I like to be comfortable when I'm camping, and that fills the whole bed of the tent with a sleeping pad about 4 inches thick, and it's quite nice. I've got 2 dry bags here, a larger one and a smaller one. I actually have not taken this one on a trip yet. Last trip I went on, I used this. I had it strapped behind my Great Basin bag, and it was too big. It basically was kind of hanging over the edges, and I actually, somewhere on there, I damaged it. Rubbed against something right there. So I bought a smaller one. This is the one we're going to be taking. So I'm going to be throwing stuff I'm not taking inside of this. This is a collapsible bucket. I'm going to be taking this. The stuff I'm not going to be taking. This is a jump box right here. Obviously my bike doesn't have a kickstart on it, and I do have several accessories that are plugged in that could drain the battery. I do have an anti-gravity lithium battery, which has a restart feature. If you kill the battery, you can push a button. The BMS protects the actual cells inside the battery. When you push that button, it allows you to restart the bike. So I don't anticipate having to use this, but it'll be nice if I do kill the battery and the restart feature doesn't work. I have a pillow right here, some bug spray, and I have my sleeping bag in there. Well, let's figure out what we're taking and get all this stuff organized. All right, fast forward a couple more days. I am done packing and I'm leaving tomorrow. This is the final loadout here on my bike. I've got this dry bag back here. I've got enough, I've got 5 days worth of clothes, which means I gotta stop and do laundry once every 5 days unless I wanna wear the same thing 2 days in a row, which of course I can do that. I'm carrying about 2.5 gallons of water, so not quite 3 gallons. Where I'm at, that should be good for 2 days unsupported, but I've also got a water filtration system if I really need. I'm hoping I can stop and refill periodically at when I get gas. So I've got my jet boil, tent, sleeping bag. I've got some stuff to change tires, both front and rear if I need it, plug kit and a compressor, things like that. And I will be bringing you guys along. So I've got my GoPro Max 360-degree camera right here. I'm gonna have a camera right here, but that's this camera that I'm currently filming with. So this one's gonna go at this point right there. And I have a helmet camera with a microphone that I've mounted inside so that I can narrate a little bit while I'm riding. And I have my DJI Mini 4 Pro right here on top of this Giant Loop Great Basin bag. So I should be able to get some cool drone shots for you guys too. But the bike's all loaded up and ready to go. Now I'm gonna schedule the upload of this video, so when you guys watch this video, I should already be either complete with the trip or on my way home. I have set aside 14 days to do this, but I think it's actually gonna take me 11 or 12. I just wanted a little bit of extra flexibility in case things didn't quite go right, but it's gonna be 2,500 miles. I'll be riding with my son. We're gonna be doing the Utah BDR, but I'm riding 3 days to and 3 days from Utah. And I'm not going directly there. I'm trying to take some back roads. I'm gonna do a little portion of the Nevada BDR on the way there. It's a pretty aggressive plan. On the way there and the way back, I'm gonna be doing between 400 and 500 miles each day, which is by far, I don't know if it's the most miles I've ridden in a day, but it's definitely the most miles that I've ridden back to back. So 3 500-mile days is a lot of time in the bike, and to be honest with you, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna handle it, but I'm gonna try. So that is it for this video. Like I said, when you see this one, the trip should be mostly complete. I think I will probably upload one video from the trail and schedule that one as well. So next video should be maybe a couple of short snippets of me out on the riding out on the trail somewhere. And then hopefully 2 weeks from now, I'll actually have some footage to share with you from the actual trip. So thanks for following along, guys. We'll catch you on the next couple of videos.